M0FXB, welcome to my channel. So we've got the 578 coming today with the Aprs receive 500,000 contacts, the Mark III version, which is a tri-bander. So we're on the Bridgecom website. We're going to download the programming software etc. And we've also gone to radio database to get the latest user CSV file. That's all your contacts, so that when you're on the radio and you're looking at the screen and people talk on DMR, you can see their call sign and their location. So we're just going to click user CSV here, and that will download, and we'll save that into a file that I've called 578. Then we're going to go to the programming software. We're going to click that zip as well, and let's go to the file that I created. So we've got the little file emblem here at the bottom, loads of files, and let's find the 578 file, which is here. So we've got all this information here, lots of files downloaded. So let's just double click and add this programming software first. There's some Bluetooth updates here as well. Baseband, not sure why you need to do that, but anyway, 578 CPS, that looks like here. There's your firmware there, and lots of display screens. So have a quick look at the display screens. Yeah, you can change them as well. What else we got here? Oh, this is my CSV file, user 4 it's called. So then you've got a README file. Double click, we're going to load this programming software up. Now don't forget, we haven't got the radio yet, so I'm just going to run this software. We'll go back, we'll do it so it creates a desktop shortcut. Next. Let that run, and back soon. Alright, once you've got the CPS, double click it here. Now this is a fresh, clean copy, so we're going to need to get our call sign in there. Double click digital, go to radio ID list. Let's get our call sign in there. So it's 2341437, and then M0FXB. M0FXB, doing caps. Click OK. Now just quick look around. This is where channels go. Up here it says channels. Now you create all your channels by just double clicking a blank line. Channels go into zones. So at the moment, if we double click, there's no zones. Let's create one called hotspots. So we'll just double click where it says zone. We'll call it hotspot. Now this is writing a code plug from scratch. Click OK, or you need to put one channel in it, others it won't save. Hotspot. Send one channel in, which is just a preset channel. Click OK for now, and we've got that zone. So if we go back to channels, let's do my hotspot. So if we double click number 1 channel here, and we'll just call it hotspot. And then we're going to give the frequency 431.550. Again, on the receive and transmit, it's not a repeater or duplex hotspot. 550. Digital, power in the house, only need low. And then the important one is contact. Now, what is contact? Contact is the number of the talk group. Now, to get a contact in there, you have to create contacts or import them in a file which you can download where you have hundreds of contacts. So let's just click OK now, and I'll show you how to do a contact. So contact talk group, that's the one we've already got. Let's add a new one, which the one I use a lot is talk group 91. The other one that makes sense to add is talk group 9, because if you add 9, then you can manually dial the radio to join talk groups. It's a lot easier that way, but for now, let's just do 91 and 9. So we'll double click, and we'll call it worldwide, which is what 91 is. I might as well add the number at the end, it's a group call. So for example, all talk groups are group calls, but if you're going to do things like disconnect, which is 4000, you would do a private call. So, and the number is the most important, so you put in 91 because that's your talk group number, more important than anything. So get that in there. Then we'll do another one. We'll call it 4000 for disconnect. And that will be private. And the number again, most important thing. You could have no name, but the number matters. and then we're going to do talk group 9, which is called local, so we'll call that local. The reason it's called local is because you're actually just talking to your hotspot, and then your hotspot's doing all the work. Talk group 9, click, and that'll be a group call. Right, group like da-da-da. I'm not sure if that would work private. It might do, but anyway. So you got contacts. Go back to channels. Go back to my hotspot frequency at the top, and now we can go contact. We can select 9. Okay, double click it. That's 9. So that's one channel created. I'm probably going to copy that. So copy. What we'll do, we'll right click and copy. Go to number 3 that's spare and paste. It puts in the same details, so you do have to change them. It does slightly change them for you. Well, I'm going to call this one 91. See that? And then click local here, which is your contact number, and we're going to choose worldwide 91. If you buy a Codeplug, you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of things, but that can be very confusing. I'm going to use color code 1. Color code is like CT, CSS. It's always nearly always 1, or I would say, or 3. But anyway, 3 tends to be repeaters. Slot means half the channel. See slot here? Half the channel. So we're going to use, I'll use slot 2, why not? So M0FX will be slot 2. And that's your digital channel. I'm pretty sure that everything's fine there. We're not doing anything like APRS or anything like that. So we don't have to think about report. APRS on EMR radios is actually called reporting. We don't need CT, CSS because it's a digital channel. So we've created a couple of hotspot channels. Let's have a look now. Contact. That one should be 91. Let me just double check. We need to name it, don't we? Hotspot 91. And we need to select 91. And then click OK. That's 91. And this one was 9. And we'll just add 9 there just so we know what we're doing. Always OK at the end, otherwise it won't save. Once you've got that channel, let's add a normal analog channel. I'll put my local HubNet node. So we'll go double click channel number 4 and we'll call it HubNet. Now you can mix and match digital and analog channels. So it's 434.550 on receive and transmit. And then we're going to make that analog, and we keep that power to say medium, but we do need CT CSS, which is down here, encode. We need 77 CT CSS, see that? And then encode 77. So we're creating an analog channel, mid power 434.550. We've named it CT CSS. Click OK, and we've now got an analog channel. So in our zones, what we could do, if we double click zone, we could add a new zone to hold our groups of channels. Double click it and put the word analog. So we could put all our analog channels in there. So click OK. Remember, you always have to add a channel first, otherwise it won't accept it. So we'll click HubNet here, and we're going to send it into the zone by clicking this right hand arrow. We've now put HubNet into that zone. Click OK. So zone 1, we didn't. Let's just make sure we get the name in. Analog. Click OK. So we've got a zone, 2 zones. One's holding analog channels and one's holding hotspot. And we could add another zone and call it, say, digital channels. So let's do that. So double click zone, double click the thing. We'll call it digital channels. Channels, yeah. We'll send any channel in for now, but we'll send a digital one. Otherwise it won't save it. Click OK. So we could put in all our digital channels there. I'll spell that wrong. Click OK. So you've created 3 zones, but at the moment we've only got a few channels. Let's just add a repeater so you know what that looks like. So we'll double click number 5. So remember, we've gone to channels at the top here. Double click number 5. We're going to call it GB3WR. The receive is 145.600. The transmit is 145.000. So you don't put shifts on a talk group, on a Codeplug DMR. type radio, you just put receive and transmit frequency. Then we've got to choose analog. Then we want the encode again, or CTCSS, of 94.8, like so. So look at that, CTCSS. Encode means you do it on transmit. Decode obviously means decode. We don't tend to need that. So that's that. We can do the power high because it is an external repeater. Click OK. We still need to find that channel. We still need to put it into a zone. So double click zones again. And we're going to put it in analog though, because it's an analog repeater. And look for GB3WR on the left and then send it into that zone. See that? You've got now 2 channels there. Right, there you go. So the next thing we need to do is bring in our CSV file so that when we're looking at the radio, you could use Talker Alias, which does it automatically, that you can see who's talking, what their call sign is, what their location is. So the way you would do that is you would go File. Let's go to, actually no, sorry, I am getting this wrong. So we go to Optional Settings, and we would go at the top, Tools, Import. Okay, and then we want our contact list, digital contact list. So there it is there. We'll click that, and then we'll import that file that we saved. We saved it to a file called 578. So let's find that file, desktop 578. Go down, and it's called user4. We got it from that radio ID site. Then you just click import, and it'll take a while because it's got, you know, several. But once it's imported, another handy tip is to enable everything. So go Tools, go to Options, and then enable GPS, Bluetooth, Aprs, and analog. Now look at that, they've got this section in there for the new Bluetooth handset which hasn't come yet, so enable that. If you go to Optional Settings, then go to Power On, you can decide what is on the screen when it boots. So all you do is go, let's have a look now, Default Startup On. Let's say we haven't got much in the radio, but let's say we want on the A band hotspot, and then we can actually choose, you know, which hotspot channel that we've programmed, which says here hotspot 9. And then say on the B band, we can go analog, and we could choose hubnet. See, so when it boots, it will do that. We can also tell it to boot up with a nice fancy custom screen. So we'll put custom picture as well. Okay, now if we want to set that, we'll go Tool, we'll see if we can import something. So let's do a boot image first. Read. Actually, open the image first, obviously. Let's try and find any image. There was one there. And we'll write that to the radio. The problem we've got is that we haven't got the radio, but anyway, we're still going to do it anyway. You got the idea. And then we got Tools. We can do a custom background. So here it is, a standby background picture. Open image. Now we got a load of images that were given to us by 578. So look, display screens. Let's just choose that one. Click OK. And again, you would write that to radio, but again, I haven't got the radio. So things like that. Optional settings again. A lot of big menu on Bluetooth. Display, brightness, timeout. We could do menu exit time, time of display. Change all the colors. Look, we're not going to do that now because we haven't got the radio. GPS, on and off, power. There you go. For some reason it's not letting me go to the firmware update, but if it did, Tools, firmware update, you would just click here. And you'd get a window, but it probably needs me to connect the radio and put it into firmware mode. And you literally just open the file and send it to the radio. Firmware, it seems that simple, but I haven't done it yet, so don't quote me on that. So this is just enough information just to get your 578 up and running. The important thing is get your call sign in there. That's probably the most important thing. Talk groups, contact list, friends, talk alias. You can turn that on. That means you'll receive information of people that are transmitting their information. They do need to be transmitting it. It's alright, just playing around for now. Now if you wanted to open a whole pre-made file, you would just go File, Open. You get something from Moonraker or Martin Lynch or something. Let's just save that. So go File, that's what it lets me. And you would look for a pre-made file. Not sure if they gave me one. Well, there's one there, but I don't think it'd be a very good one. We'll double click it anyway. And you'd have the whole code plugin, but once you've got that, you do need to put in your DMR number, and chances are you're going to have to program in your frequency of your hotspot at home. But they'll have all the groups around the country, southwest, north, east, all that kind of stuff. So let's just see what they've got on their Codeplug. Alright, looks like it's just saved. That's my own saving of my own Codeplug. So, alright, but that's enough for now. We haven't got the radio. Once we get it, we'll start going through everything one thing at a time. Bye for now. All the best.